parenting carers, thank you for joining me once again on Let's Talk Parenting. I'm Veronica Kasengo Fruitful, and I'm really pleased that you are watching this. My goal is to share with us information that can help us to succeed as parents, because when we succeed, let me assure you, so will our children. My prayer is that you are going to learn one thing, just one thing that you can practice on a daily basis that will make that significant difference. If you haven't already subscribed, then please subscribe now by just pressing that big subscribe in red button. And do me one favor, share this video with as many people as you can in your contact. I believe it was Denzel Washington who said, each one teach one. When you learn something new, it's always great to share it with another person so they can learn what you are learning. So thank you so much to those of you that are already sharing my video. I really appreciate you. If you haven't done so, then please do so. Thank you. Today, I want to talk to us about how we talk and they don't listen. They just don't. Instead, they shut down. Like Martin Luther King, I also have a dream that one day all parents will be able to communicate effectively with their children. I want to introduce to us 7 parents who communicate in a way that basically switches their children's brain down and they respond negatively, and a very simple situation becomes a drama. Are you ready? So parent number 1, they're distracted.
I know. I told you. You need to listen to me. Okay. Oh, the food is burning. Huh? Oh, the food is burning. Okay. Yeah.
I had an annoying teacher in school, and basically someone was talking about.
Okay. Hold on. Yeah, I'll speak to you later. Hold on.
This parent is super busy. I mean, you saw her. She cooks and cleans and talks on the phone at the same time as listening to her child who's trying to talk to her. But out of all the things I've listed, the most important one is her child trying to communicate with her. And how we respond determines whether our child will listen to us. Now, parent number 2 is the critical judgmental.
Guess what?
Oh.
There's a boy in school who likes me.
Okay. What does that mean?
It means he likes me.
Okay. This parent, out of love, criticizes or is judgmental about every situation. And in the process, they tend to also criticize their child. Now, what the parent doesn't realize is that this method can actually make a child feel unworthy or feel as if they are not valid. Parent number 3 is the preacher.
As I was saying, my friend told me that he likes me, but...
Does he know that you are a Christian?
Yeah, he does. He's a Christian too.
Well, he's not a very good Christian if he's coming to school liking girls.
This parent has all the knowledge about every situation and they're very happy to share it with you. They will even use historical information to back up what they're saying. So statements like, why don't you do so and so? When I was young, I did so and so. My favorite one is they will use quotes from the Bible. The Bible says, or the Quran if you're of a different faith. And they will use that in order to support their statement to encourage the child to do what they are saying. Now, parent number 4 is the advisor.
The best thing to do, Are you listening to me? The best thing to do is you need to tell him that you don't have time for that. You don't have time. You are going to school to learn. You're not going there to spend time with boys, okay?
This parent is full of advice and you don't need to ask for it because you're going to get it for free. Now, advising children is absolutely okay. However, because of the situation, the child sees what the parent is doing as being bossy and they switch off. Parent number 5 is the ordering, controlling.
He never listened to me.
Now you are telling me I don't listen to you. Since when? Since when you tell me what to do?
This parent likes to be in control of the situation. They don't take very well to the child knowing more or better than them. The impact of this is the same as the advisor. The child feels like they have no importance and they have no control, and they switch off. Parent number 6 is the Disagreea.
I'm nearly 16. I should be allowed to date.
Who told you? Who told you that here when you're 16 you have to date? Who told you?
This parent doesn't care what the child thinks or what the child feels. If they don't think something is right, well, then it isn't right, and the child should be doing what the parent is saying. The only problem is this can make a child feel undervalued or irrelevant. Parent number 7, finally, is the shouter.
You're so strict, Mom. I should be allowed to.
Shut up. I'm strict.
All my friends have boyfriends.
You your friends have boyfriend? Who your friends have boyfriend? You need to stay away from those friends. You need to stay away. Who are you to tell me what should be? Are you not the parent? Are you the parent?
This parent, well, what can I say? They are a no-nonsense parent. They get angry easily, and shouting is their way of responding. Shouting is their superpower. That is how they get control of situations. The downside to this is that it can make a child become scared of their parents. It can even make a child develop fear. And when they get older, they might think that this is the way you get control of situations. So what can we do to help our children listen to us better, and also in return have a more healthier relationship with them? Well, here are a couple of tips or things that we can do. The first one is, in a situation like the first parent, the best thing to do is to stop and listen. See, when your child is trying to talk to us, it's important that they get our attention, because this will make them feel listened to, and in return, they will listen to us when we are talking to them. Just think about the last time you tried to, talk to a friend about an issue that you had. Now imagine that friend you're talking to is, on the phone or doing something else. It kind of makes you feel like they're not valuing, the conversation you're trying to have with them. Well, children are no different to us. They feel exactly the same way. And in return, we're teaching them, well, when we're talking, they shouldn't really listen to us then, should they? The second one is to acknowledge feeling. Parents, this is the deal breaker. In fact, if anyone is talking to you, try and see if you can identify what they are feeling. So in the scenario, something that the mom could have done when the child told them that this boy likes them in school, they could have said something like, oh, you sound very excited about it. Or they could have said, you don't sound too sure about what you're telling me. See, acknowledging feeling lets the person feel that you are hearing them, and in return, they are going to engage with you more. Now, instead of preaching to the child, practice what we call the super silent. This is where someone talks to you and is giving you information, and you just try your best to say as little as possible. So in the scenario, what the mom could have done was just sit there, listen, give all the right body language, nodding, smiling. Okay, right. Super silent is very powerful. Now, warning. When you do this for the first or second, even the third time, your child's going to think you are weird. That's because you're doing something that they are not used to. But eventually, they are going to adjust, and this is going to work perfectly well for the both of you. Number 4 is ask permission before you give advice. You look shocked. It's okay. Okay, so giving advice is great, but let's think about this. When you talk to your friend because you've got something going on, you don't always want them to give you their advice. What you want is for them to listen. Now imagine if your friend then said, "Can I suggest something?" You would say, "Yes, of course." Why? Because they asked permission. Generally speaking, we as parents think that because our children are younger than us, we should just tell them what to do. But this can backfire because our children want some control over their lives. So when you ask permission, they are more likely to listen to what you want to tell them than if you just went ahead and gave them your advice or your opinion. So ask permission. Tip number 5 is to ignore inappropriate comments. This is hard to do. And the reason it's hard is because when children make comments that we don't like, naturally as a parent, you feel like they are disrespecting you and you feel like you have to respond, because if you don't, then you're kind of giving them permission to do it. Well, parents, let me tell you that this is not true. You are actually more powerful when you ignore their comments. Now, don't get me wrong. When children are directly disrespectful, we deal with disrespectful behavior, but we don't always have to pay attention to all the murmuring and all the little comments that they make when we're having a conversation with them. By ignoring it, you are actually sending the message that it's not important. And you are also helping the child pay attention to what is important, which is what you were trying to tell them right there and then. Tip number 6 is, instead of disagreeing, you can give to them in fantasy what you cannot give to them in reality. So in the scenario, the daughter thinks that she should be able to date at the age of 16. What mom can say is, so you wish at 16 you can date, huh? And the child will obviously say, yeah, why not? And they'll have a conversation about it. But then mom can go on to explain why she doesn't think it's a good idea to date at the age of 16. Now, the child won't necessarily agree or even like it, but they are going to accept it, and you have taken control of the situation. Tip number 7 is to use your words. I'm sure if our child was shouting at somebody, we would tell them, you don't need to shout, use your words. So we need to also apply this principle. When we shout, we actually get angrier, and you can actually feel it on the inside of you rising. So to take control of that, the best thing is to stay quiet and to use our words to say what it is we want to say to our children. By doing this, we are teaching them how to take control of situations. Now, if this is something that we do find hard, then I would recommend looking into some kind of anger management courses where we can learn how to deal with different situations. I hope you found all of these tips really helpful. Hope you enjoyed our little performance as well. I want to ask you one last favor. Now, if you have already subscribed, thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, then please help me grow this channel by subscribing to the channel and also sharing this video with all the people in your contacts so that they can also get this information. I really want to reach as many parents as I possibly can this year. I have a goal, you see, and it's coming to the end of the year, and I really want to achieve my goal. So please help me by subscribing to the channel, sharing this video with as many people as you can so they can also join us and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching consistently. I will see you in the next video. Have a great week. Bye.